this one over here. Let me show it to you. And basically I did this drawing at college many years ago, and this was my first drawing in AutoCAD, and this drawing actually changed many things in my life, my career goals, and everything. So I hope this first drawing in AutoCAD that you do can also change many things in your life. So that's my hope. And let's go on the new drawing that we created simply by left clicking on it. So again, let's go to model space over here by clicking on it. So our first drawing that we're gonna draw here today is again, it is on one of the files that I'm sharing from the video description. So it is this American flag. So this is the drawing that we're gonna be using today to learn many different commands and tools and learn how to use AutoCAD. Okay, so again, we are on our drawing one that we created, and we are in model space right now. So make sure you are also on the same location. And so what I like to do first to draw this is create another drawing. So going over here on this AutoCAD icon, say new and drawing. And then again, I'm gonna pick the Imperial Arquitecture template that we already explained before. So I'm gonna click open. I'm gonna go to model space by clicking over here. And then what I want to do is I have my Windows Explorer over here. I'm gonna left click on this American flag. Again, you can download all of these files, these 3 files, from the video description. So I'm gonna left click and then drop it over here like so. So again, I'm on drawing 2. So I'm inserting this American flag image here in model space. So once I have it like so, I'm gonna follow my command line over here that says specify insertion point for this image. So at this point I can click anywhere. I don't really care where. So I'm gonna click left click like so, following the command line instructions. Is asking for a scale factor. At this point I don't care about the scale either. This image is only for reference, so I'm gonna simply accept the one that is right here for the scale, pressing enter. For the rotation that is asking AutoCAD, 0 is fine, so I'm gonna press enter, and I can see my image over here. Again, to start using some of the techniques that we went through before to zoom extents was double click on your middle mouse wheel like so. All right, so that's your drawing that we're gonna start using. So that now that we are here, we can simply left click on this drawing tab, and then we can move it like so, holding it the left mouse click, of course. So what we're gonna do is resize this window, going over here in the corner, and we're gonna resize it like so. So again, I'm gonna move it all the way up over here, and then let me resize it again like so, and I'm gonna zoom extends over here again, double clicking on my middle mouse wheel like so. Okay, so now I can go to my drawing 1 that is over here. So I'm gonna close this elevation because we're not gonna be using this. So to avoid any confusion, I'm gonna close it using this X over here, and then say yes to accept that, to save my drawing. Okay, so as you can see, if we click on our first drawing, drawing 1, our reference American flag disappears. So in order to fix that, let's go back to that drawing 2, and what we need to do is click this pin icon over here to pin it. So let's click, and now if we are on our drawing 1, you can see that it doesn't go away. So we are ready to start drawing one of your first drawings and learn all of these useful tools and commands in AutoCAD. Are you excited for that? I really are, because I hope this first drawing can change your life like it did for me. So the first thing that we want to do here is, so we have this American flag. Let's analyze it really quick. This is basically standard American flag, which is about 5 feet length, in this case 60 inches, and width would be about 32 inches, right? So, okay, so before we start drawing, I want to mention that, or remember you that we don't need to set up our units because we picked the correct template, in this case Imperial Arquitecto. So just to verify, I'm gonna type units here, right? This is a command that will be used to check our units. If we press enter, you can see that our units is architectural and it is in inches, which is correct. So we don't need to worry about this anymore, because we picked the right template. All right, so I'm gonna start drawing, and the first thing I want to start from the outside to draw this rectangle over here. So let me introduce you to one of your first commands that we're gonna learn today, which is the rectangle command. So the rectangle command, you can of course access it here from the ribbon, from the draw panel, because we are drawing something brand new, and it's right here, rectangle, right? If you hover over any command without clicking, you can see instructions and, you know, create a rectangle or polyline and so on. So, but the best way that I'll suggest you is to use the shortcuts, the keyboard shortcuts from the list that you can again download it from the video description. So the shortcut for the rectangle command is REC. So you don't have to type the entire command, simply use the shortcut REC and then press enter. So over here, again, using the command line, a way to talk between you and AutoCAD, is asking to specify the first corner point. So I'm gonna click anywhere here on my screen. I'm gonna click or left click, and then again AutoCAD is talking back, is saying specify other corner point. So I can, you know, click over here if I want, but I want to draw this rectangle with precision, right? Because we know the length and the width of this rectangle is 60 inches, right? If we can see letter B is right here, B, that's the length, and letter A is the width, it's right here. So to draw a rectangle with precision, what we need to do is go over here, and under these options, again from the command line, we can pick the dimension options. So if I click on it, or I could also type the letter D that is in blue. So I can type D and then press enter. And then this will give me the option to specify a length for my rectangle. So we know the length would be 60 inches. So I'm gonna type 60 and press enter. Now, again, from the command line is saying specify the width for the rectangle. So for the width, we know that it is 31.58 inches. So I'm gonna type that out, 31.58, and press enter. So once we do that, you can see that we're still inside the command line. The command rectangle didn't finish yet, because if we move our cursor, so let's read what's next. It's saying specify other corner point. So at this moment, I can simply click anywhere. So I'll click over here like so. So again, I'm gonna zoom in by using my middle mouse wheel like so. And we have the first rectangle for our American flag. So next, what we need to do is draw a couple of polylines over here to draw this blue rectangle that it is right here. So that's C for the width and D for the length. So I'm going to start with D. So D is 24 inches. So let me introduce you again one of your second commands, which is Polyline command. So the Polyline command, to access it, you can type the shortcut PL for Polyline. So once you do that and press enter, you can see that the Polyline, in order to use it, it says specify start point. So the start point is going to be around over here, of course, which is the distance of C, which is 17.005 inches. So, but in order to draw with precision, we're going to need some of the options here in the status bar that we have off. We have everything off right now. So let's start turning on some of the precision settings that we need. So the first one is the object snaps. So let's click on it to turn it on. And to access more of the options, let's click this triangle over here. So click. So right now we can see that whatever is checked is on. So I'm gonna turn everything off again to start fresh and to turn on only the precision settings that we really need, right? So starting with the endpoint. So right now you can see, again, I'm gonna start the PL for the Polyline command. You can see that over here, I cannot snap precisely on this corner. So for that, I'm gonna need, again, one of the precision settings, which is the endpoint. So if I click or checked the endpoint and go back over here, I can see that now there is a green rectangle that says endpoint. And again, this is using this object snap setting, and that's what we need. So if I move over here, now I'm gonna need, so I can simply click and start drawing my polyline, right? So, but I'm gonna need another precision setting to start my polyline at a certain distance. Over here we need the distance of C in this case. So what I'm gonna do is cancel that. To cancel any command or finish any command, you can use the escape key on your keyboard like so. So let's go back to our object snap settings, and we're gonna need over here the apparent extension over here, extension. So let's click that and let's see what happens now when we start the polyline again. PL and move over here and then move back. So you can see that we have now a nice extension that is kicking over here and is helping us to move our cursor down like so. So this way we can type our distance in this case, which is C, right? So C is 17.005 inches. So we're gonna again hover over here, move slowly down like so till you see the X. That means your extension is activated. So let's type 17.005 and then let's press enter. So once we do that, you can see that we are starting our polyline from the correct distance, in this case the distance C, right, to draw our first point. Now let's go back to our command line and let's read it, right? It's asking to specify the next point. So the next point, where do we want our next point? Based on our flag, we need it using the distance of D. In this case, the distance D is 24 inches, okay? So, but we see a problem over here. The problem is that I'm not getting a nice straight line, right? So I need to somehow constrain this polyline to draw nicely and straight horizontally. So the way we do that is activating another precision setting from the status bar. In this case would be the ortho mode. So the ortho mode precision setting, let's activate it by left clicking on it, and again it's showing blue. It's helping us now to draw precisely a straight line. If you move it up, it's gonna draw a straight line like so. So again, that's the ortho mode that is helping us right now, okay? At this point, we can type our distance, in this case, the distance D, which is 24 inches. So 24, press enter. And now, again, following the instructions from the command line, is saying specify next point. So I want to move my mouse or cursor up like so to finish my line. And again, for this, I don't need to type my distance C again, because I can simply finish it on this other line, because we know the line goes all the way to this H. So, but I need another precision setting here. Why? Because you can see that I cannot snap to this line. So for this, we're gonna activate another precision setting. So let's go here on the object snap triangle over here. Let's click, and we're gonna need the precision setting called perpendicular. So let's activate that, click and check. And now let's go back to our screen, and you can see that when I moved up, I'm gonna have this green object snap called perpendicular. So once I click over here like so, you can see that I precisely connected those two lines, and at this point I don't need the polyline command anymore, so I'm gonna simply press escape like so. Awesome, right? So you have learned two commands so far, the rectangle command, the polyline command, and again we are close to finish up our drawings. So now that we have kind of the correct overall sizes for our flag, what we're gonna do here is keep moving. So what I'm gonna do now is these stripes over here, right, the red stripes. For that, we're gonna introduce you your third command, which is gonna be the line command. So the line command, you can again access it from the ribbon over here, line, but I'm gonna keep using the keyboard shortcuts to get used to only use these keyboard shortcuts, because that's a more efficient way to work in AutoCAD. So let's use the shortcut for the line command, which is the letter L. So once you press enter, again, we don't know anything about the command line, the line command. So let's get some help here with the command line. Says specify first point. So I'm gonna specify my first point over here, and we need the distance of H, right? That's the distance between each line for the stripes. So H, let's look for H over here. H is 2.4. Okay, 2.4 and oops, I don't see it. Let me go here. Okay. So again, I'm gonna start the line command, L, press enter, and then go over here. For some reason, I'm not seeing the H. All right, I have the H right now. Again, the line command, and then we know that the distance is 2.4 and so on. So the line command is saying specify first point. I'm gonna hover on this corner to see the endpoint, and then move down like so, so I can see my extension object snap. Once I see it, I can type my distance, in this case the distance H, which is 2.4284 inches. So I'm gonna press enter now, and you can see that I'm gonna start my line in the correct location. Okay, so at this point I'm gonna go and all the way here till I see my perpendicular object snap activated, and I'm gonna click like so. So again, I don't need the line anymore, so I'm gonna press escape. So this is the line command. And now to briefly explain you the difference between line and the polyline. The polyline is simply many lines connected. So you have one line and two lines over here. They are connected. So that's the polyline. And this is a line, simply a single object. So by the end of this drawing, you're gonna know the difference when to use the line, when to use the polyline. So let's keep moving. And the next command that I want to introduce you is the offset command. The offset command is a way to modify your existing drawing, because I don't want to draw another line over here to finish the stripes. I simply gonna offset it. So if you go over here on the ribbon, the offset command is right here, and again it creates parallel lines. So I'm gonna use the shortcut, which is O. So once I use O and press enter, again, we don't know anything about the offset command. So let's get some help from the command line. So the command line is saying specify offset distance. So that means the distance H, right? But also there is three different options here, and we're gonna use, instead of typing the distance, we're gonna use the we're gonna click the distance. So let's click once over here, and then let's click twice over here to get the distance, right? Instead of typing it, I simply click these 2 points. So once I did that, it's saying to select object to offset. I want the line to offset, so I'm gonna click my object, and then it's saying specify point on site to offset. So that means if I move up or down, it will offset to that direction. Of course, I don't want to move up because I don't want to offset lines towards that direction. I want to offset it down. So I'm going to click anywhere here like so. And you can see that I offsetted this line to the exact same distance as the H distance, right? So I can keep offsetting by simply selecting the line again, going down, click, selecting the line, going down, click, like so. So I'm gonna keep offsetting like so, right? And I'm gonna keep doing it simply using my left click, selecting my line, moving down like so. Okay, so once I'm done offsetting, again, I'm gonna simply press escape to finish the offset command, right? So again, we learned a few commands already, and the next command that we're gonna need is the extend command. The extend command is gonna be right here on the ribbon, extend. Again, it extends objects to meet the edges of other objects. So let me give you the example. I'm gonna use its shortcut, which is the X for extend. So once we use the extend command, pressing enter, we can see that from the command line, it's not giving us instruction, but it says select object to extend, right? So I'm gonna select this line, and you can see that it is extending to this other boundary over here. So I'm gonna click like so, and then click like so to keep extending. I could also simply select multiple lines at the same time by clicking once and moving my mouse up like so, and click one more time. Okay, so at this point I can click press escape to finish the extend command. So we are close to finish your first drawing, the drawing that might change your life, because it did for me actually. So let's keep moving. And now that we finish our stripes, let's go and start drawing some of these stars over here. By the end of this explanation, we're gonna give you some time to ask some of your questions if you have some, okay? So let's keep moving again with the stars over here. So for the start, we see that there is G, which is the star's diameter. So that's G. So let me now, there is a couple of ways that we can do this, either using a circle for the diameter. So I'm gonna show you both ways, so that way we can practice and introduce you some new commands. So let's draw a circle. So circle command, the shortcut is the letter C, and let's press enter, C. So at this point, I'm gonna draw my circle just outside my flag, because I want to show you other commands such as move and so on. So going again to the command line to get some help for my circle, is saying specify center point for circle. So I'm gonna click here once, and then if I move, my circle is gonna grow, of course. So it says specify radius of circle. So if we go here on our drawing, we have G for our star, and G, if we go down, is the diameter of the star, right? So we don't want the radius, we want the diameter. So in order to change to the diameter, there is an option over here that says diameter. Again, you can click or type D. I'm gonna type D and press enter. And now the command line is saying specify diameter of circle. That's what we want. And the diameter is G. So let's go over here. G is 1.9453 inches. So let's press enter. And we have the diameter for our start, right? So now here we can start drawing our start using another command. In this case, we're gonna introduce you to the Polygon command, okay, or tool. The Polygon tool, its shortcut is P-O-N-L, as for polygon, and let's accept that pressing the enter. So again, we don't know anything about the polygon. Please help us, AutoCAD. So going to the command line, enter the number of sides. So the number of sides that we need for our start is 5. So let's type 5 and press enter. And now the command line says specify center of polygon. The center of my polygon, I want it to be, of course, exactly on the center of the circle. So how do I get the center of this circle? Well, we need, yes, another precision setting. So let's move over here on the status bar again, and let's click on this object snap. So the precision setting that we need now is gonna be the center of a circle right here. So let's check that. So now once we go back here, we can see that if we move around our circle, we're seeing a green snap over here of the circle. So you can simply click like so. And now to continue with the Polygon command, is asking AutoCAD to enter an option, either inscribe or circumscribed about the circle. So the difference between inscribe and circumscribe is that inscribe is gonna draw the object inside the circle, and circumscribe is gonna draw the polygon outside using the outside faces of the circle. So for this start, we can see that G, the diameter is, the star is inside that circle. So we're gonna pick inscribed. So once we do that, you can see that our 5 sides polygon is showing like so. So again, to finish this command is saying specify radius of circle. So we don't need the radius anymore because we drew our circle, right? So we know that the radius, I mean, this diameter is correct. So at this point, I'm gonna move up, and I need a way to snap to the edge of this circle. And for that, I'm gonna need another precision setting, okay? So let's go back to the status bar and let's click over here. And for that, we're gonna need the quadrant object snap. So let's check that. And again, once we start checking these object snaps, we don't have to activate them anymore when we are working on another drawing. So it's just for the first time because we want to go over them and understand them. So again, the quadrant, I'm activating it. So again, my polygon, I want it to go up, and you can see that the quadrant object snap is active now. So let's click like so, okay? So at this point, we have our circle, we learned the polygon command, and let me now draw a polyline to finish our start. So again, to start the polyline command is PL, and let's click from this point to this point, here, here, and over here, and finally over here, like so. So I can press escape to finish my start. So at this point, we don't need the circle, neither the polygon. So I'm gonna erase that, and for that, I'm gonna introduce you another command which is called erased. So let's select all of these objects like so, and let's type E. That's the shortcut for the erase command. So you can use that by pressing enter again, and you will erase your objects. So that's our start. Let's clean it up a bit because these stars right here on the inside are empty. So in order to clean it up or trim some of these lines, let's introduce you another command which is called trim. To access the trim command, the shortcut is TR, and let's press enter. So from the command line, again, it says select object to trim. So I'm gonna click this line over here, like so, this line, like so, and also this line. You could also trim many lines at the same time by clicking once and then move it like this and click again. And then I'm gonna press escape. Okay, so our line is almost ready, but I can see that some of these objects are divided. So in order to combine all of these in one single polyline, let's simply select all of the objects for our star like so, and let's use another command called joint. Joint, the shortcut is the J. So, and we press enter. You can see that over here, 9 segments joined into one polyline, which is nice. So once we have our stair, it's time to move it to the correct location over here. So let me introduce you the move command. So the move command, the keyboard shortcut is the letter M. So let's accept that, and from the command line it says specify or select the objects. I'm gonna select my start and press enter. Okay, so again, from the command line, specify base point. So the base point, before I click any base point, I'm gonna go over my drawing and see where I need to place my start, right? So the distance is the distance E. So the distance E is, let me go over here, start gap E 1.753. Okay, so again, I'm on the move command. So I need to move it from the center of this point. So in order to do that, you can see that I cannot snap to the center. So let's see if there is another precision setting that we can use. So let me go geometric center. Yes, let's try this out. Let's check that geometric center. And let's go and hover over the start. And we can see that a new object snap is showing on the center, which is nice. So let's click that in order to move our stair. So right now, we can see that we are moving our stair only orthogonally, and we don't want that. We want to move it on this direction. So let's turn off the ortho mode over here by clicking on it. Let's turn it off. And now you can see that I can move freely over here, right? Now, that means you have to every time turn on and off the ortho mode to move things? No, not really. And let me show you how. So let's turn it back on again, because ortho is always useful to have it all the time on. So in order to move this freely, we can hold the shift key on our keyboard. So once we hold the shift, you can see that we can move freely. If we release the shift again, we cannot move freely. Again, I'm gonna hold in the shift, so that way you don't have to turn on or off the ortho mode. You always have it on, and simply holding the shift key will help you move freely. So at this time, I can simply zoom in or out, and I'm gonna place my stair over here on this point, like so. Okay. So again, I'm gonna use the move command, M and enter, but I want to show you a quick way to access the previous command or the last command that you used. And it's simply by using the enter again on your keyboard. So if you press enter, you will see that it will automatically activate the last command, in this case, the move command. So that's a nice way, a quick way to reuse commands so you don't have to type them again. Okay, so let's move this start up a distance of E. In this case, let me see, E is 1.7. So let's click over here and move it up and type our distance. In this case, for E is 1.7053, like so. Press enter. So that's our star right there. Let's select it again, and we need to move it a distance of F right here. So F is, what is it? It's right here. So again, enter, and then let's click once, move it to the side, a distance of F, which is 1.9895, and then press enter, and we moved our star like so. Okay, so at this point, I remember when I drew this, my first drawing at college, I used the copy command to copy all of these stars around, but I didn't know any better at that time. So after many years, and now being an Autocad certified, I can draw these more efficient, and let me show you the more efficient way. So let's introduce you another command that is called array. But before we do our array, a good practice is whenever you have so many repetitive objects or the same objects, it's a good practice to make it a block. So right now we have so many stairs over here, and let's convert this into a block. A block is simply a way to group objects so that if you modify one of these objects in the future, the rest of all of the other objects will update automatically. So this is an efficient way to use AutoCAD. So let's convert this into a block. So in order to do that, let me introduce you the block command. Its shortcut is B. So let's type B, and that's for block, and press enter. So here we're gonna give a name to our block, in this case start. Make sure the base point is checked for specify on the screen. Objects specify on the screen also is checked. And let's click OK. So once we do that, from the command line, again, let's get some help. Specify insertion base point. Our insertion base point, I want it to be on the center. So let's click over here on this center of the stair, like so. And then the command line says select objects. So of course, I'm gonna select my start, like so, and press enter. So now what happened is that if I select this start, this is not a polyline anymore, but it is a block. So a block that if I hover, you can see it says block reference. So again, block is an efficient way to update objects, and in the future you will see how all of the other stairs will update automatically. So let's keep moving, and now let me introduce you another command that is called array. So the array, we're gonna use it to copy the stairs quickly, right, all around, instead of copying each object individually. Because let me give you an example of how we will do this manually, right? So let's copy this using the regular copy command, just to give you an example. For the copy command, the shortcut is CO, and then we're gonna press enter. So I'm gonna select my start, like so, and then from the command line says select objects. I already selected, so I'm gonna press enter to accept that, and then specify base point. So of course I'm gonna specify my base point that it's here on the center of my stair, like so, and then I'm gonna move it up a distance of, in this case, E. So E is 1.7053, and press enter, like so. So that was just a way to introduce you the copy command, but we're not gonna use the copy command because there are so many stars over here, and I want to show you a more efficient way. This is how I did it at college many years ago, because again, I didn't know any better at that time. I was a beginner, probably like you. So let me erase this stair. Again, you can erase it using the E shortcut, or let me show you another way, which is selecting your object and simply use the delete key on your keyboard, like so. Okay, so let me show you again the more efficient way using the array command. So to start the array command, its keyboard shortcut is ER. So that's the array command. Let's press enter, and let's select the again, following the instructions on the command line that says select objects. I'm gonna select my object, which is this one over here, and then press enter. So following the command line says enter array type. So I'm gonna play rectangular for this example. So click that, and you can see that automatically I'm having all of these stairs. At this point, I'm not gonna focus on the number of stairs or anything. I'm gonna simply exit this by pressing the enter, as you can see, enter. So now I have this array that I can quickly add more stairs if I want to by simply click this grid over here, right? So if I move it up like so, so let's see how many stairs do we need. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stairs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so. And then on the other side, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, we can click this over here, and we have 4 right now. So click 5 and 6. Now we can worry about the distance between each star. I always get confusing between stair and star. Anyway, so we have the correct number of stars. Let's now fix the distance between those stars, right? So the distance is let me go back here, and it's the distance of E. Okay, so but that's from the bottom of the star to, I believe, the top of the star. It's a little confusing, this drawing, but let's try the bottom to the top of the star being E. Okay, so again, the distance of between the stars is E in this case. So E is 1.7. Okay, so let's fix that. For the distance, if we go over here on the ribbon, we can see. Let's quickly explain you about the array options, right? So we have columns and rows. So of course, columns are the horizontal objects or lines, and then rows are the horizontal, columns are the vertical and rows are the horizontal stairs. Okay, so just to know that. And then we have a distance between the objects. So again, we need the distance of E for the objects, the gaps, right? So let's type that out. So the distance is 1.703. But we have an issue here. The issue is that right now, the distance is going to be between this point, the center of the start, and this other point. And we don't have the distance over here. We have the distance between the base of the start and I believe the top of the star, right? So how do we fix that? So we can fix that by changing the base point of our object in this case. So let's do that. So let's change the base point. And the base point is going to be this top of the stair. So again, following the command line, specify base point. So I'm going to click this one over here. So now you can see that we changed the base point of the array. Now the distance is going to be between this point and this other point. But again, we have another issue, which is that we don't have the distance. We have the bottom of the stair and the top of the stair. So we have an issue right here. Let's see how we can solve that. Let me do it in another way. So let's undo. Let me show you how to undo first in AutoCAD. So undo means going back to your drawing. So to undo, there is an option over here. This arrow that says undo, or you can simply type its shortcut U, right? Undo. If you keep pressing undo over here, you will keep going back and back. So we want to undo till we see only one star, like so. Okay. To avoid any confusion, I'm going to draw a simple line over here from the top, right? Just as a reference. And then I'm going to offset it the distance of E. In this case, the distance 1.7. So O for offset, 1.7. 0.7053 and press enter. I'm going to offset the line up like so. So that's what I believe is what we have right here, even though it's a little confusing. I don't know if E is taken from the upper part of the stair or from here. I'm a little confused, but I'm gonna try it this way just to see if it's the right thing. So let's copy that using the CO shortcut, and let's click over here, and let's click over here like so. So I don't think this looks right, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stairs over here. I don't think it's gonna fit 5 of these stairs all the way up. I don't think so. You can see they're not gonna fit. Oh well, actually they're gonna fit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So that's good. All right. So sorry about that. I finally figured out that this was from the top of the stair to the base of the stair. So let's keep moving then. We now have the right dimensions. So let's undo that using this arrow over here, or again, to undo you can use the shortcut Control Z. That way you undo quickly. So okay, so now let's copy this using the CO copy, and then press enter. So at this point I want to copy this, clicking over here, and then we're gonna use this option called oops, a second. Okay, so we're gonna use the copy command and use the array option that is right here, array. You can simply click on it, and again, this is very similar to the array command that we used previously. It's just using the copy command. So it's asking to enter the number of items. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 stars, and then it's asking to specify the second point. So I'm gonna click right here like so. Okay, and then I can simply press escape to finish that up. So again, we tried the array command. It didn't work for us based on the dimensions or distances that we were provided. So we have to kind of do things differently, and we used the regular copy command with the array option to, you know, draw our stars like so. So again, this is an issue that we had, that it is common when you are on the profession. Sometimes you don't have the correct distances or dimensions or sizes, and you have to figure it out by yourself using a different method or technique. So again, this is common. So we did it, we figured it out. So now that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stairs, okay, so we can keep moving, and we need to know now the distance between each star over here. So let me go to our drawing, and again it's saying we need this distance over here. So F, I believe, is from the center to the center. Again, this is a little weird because it's not going to the center, but I'm going to assume that it is to the center. So let's figure this out, okay? So from the center to the center is F. So that means we have 2 times F to access the other center. Okay, so F. Okay, so again, let's do this the manual way because array didn't work for us. So let's type a line. Let's go here and draw a line like so, and let's offset the line F. So F is 1.1.985. Enter. So we're gonna offset that to the right like so, and then we're gonna offset it again one more time like so. Okay, so that we have the distance of F right now. So we can select all of our stars like so using the blue crossing selection, and let's use again the copy command using the shortcut CO. Let's click over here on this top. Again, we're gonna use the array option, so type A or like so, array, the number of items to array. Let's count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, and press enter. Then we can click this point over here like so. Okay, so at this point, let's press escape, and we'll have our stars like so. So let's keep moving. Once we need to finish now the other stars that are on the center. So basically this one over here, this guy. So in order to do that, let's copy one of these stars over here using the copy command, CO, and press enter. From the middle of this star, let's click, and then it's saying specify second point. I want to place that in the center of these stars, and for that, let me introduce you a quick trick. So let's type M2P. That means middle between 2 points. So once we press enter, we can click 2 points to place our star on the center. So the 2 points would be over here, the center of this star once, and then the center of this other star, like so. Once we do that and press escape, you can see that we placed our star on the middle of these 2 points of these 2 other stars, like so, right? So again, let's now copy all around. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stars over here. So let's use the copy command again with selecting the center of our star using the array option, and then the number of items would be 4. So let's type 4. Press enter, and then we can move up like so. So how do we place it on the center? We already kind of did that, so let's do it again. We need to place our star on the center of these 2 stars. So for that, let's use the trick that I just showed you, M2P, and press enter. So we can click 1 point over here, click, and then 1 point over here, click, like so. Okay, you can see we placed our stars. Let's press escape. So we can now finish our stars by copying all of these again using the copy command with the let's select of course our center like so, and then the array option using the A shortcut, array, number of items, let's count them, 1 2 3 4 5. So let's type 5, and again our final click would be in the middle of these two stairs using the trick M2P, middle between 2 points. Press enter, click over here on this star once, click on this other star like so, and then press escape. Okay, at this point we don't need any of these guides over here, so let's delete it using the delete key on your keyboard. And we finally finished our stars. It was a challenge, right? Because we didn't have the correct dimensions for our flag to use the array command to quickly do it. But again, we could figure it out using different techniques. In this case, the copy with the array option. So let me zoom extend using double clicking on my middle mouse wheel like so. So what we're gonna do next to finish this up is use or introduce you to the hatch command. The hatch command, it's very useful. It's gonna help us to add these stripes colors as well as this blue background over here. So the shortcut for the hatch command is the H. So let's type H and press enter. And the hatch command is a way to again add patterns or backgrounds to our drawing. So in this case, I don't know anything about the hatch command, right? So help me, Autocad. It's asking to pick internal point. So I'm gonna pick, before I pick actually, I need to select my hatch pattern or style. So I'm gonna pick over here the solid, because again these stripes are simply red solid color. So I'm gonna select solid, and then I'm gonna click my internal point, in this case this once, and then again asking, Autocad is asking pick internal point again. So I'm gonna keep selecting my internal points based on my flag, so like so, and keep moving down like so. So at this point I don't want to pick this internal point for my stars, because if you can see, this hatch is gonna be red and the other one is gonna be blue. So I don't want to be the same hatch. So I'm gonna press escape to finish the hatch command. So you can see that if I select the hatch, it's one single object, right? And we're not adding colors yet. We will add colors in the end when we create our PDF. So don't worry about that for now. So let's hatch now this other, the blue color, right? So again, H, enter. Let's pick our internal points, in this case over here, click, and let's press escape. All right, so we are pretty much almost done. So let's keep wrapping this up. So the next thing that I want to introduce you is the layers command, or the layers concept in AutoCAD. The layers are very important, and layers are basically a way to organize your objects in AutoCAD so you can modify them or edit them in the future quickly and more efficient. So right now, all of my objects that we drew are on the layer 0. You can see it here on the ribbon. It says layers provides a choice of layers to the current drawing. So a good practice, especially when you are a beginner, is to not worry about layers in the beginning of drawing something. Simply draw everything at layer 0, and then you can start assigning layers in the end. Because especially if you're a beginner, if you try to worry about layers and then objects, you will get confused. So again, that's why we draw everything on layer 0. So, but now that we are done with our flag, let's, before assigning colors, let's change the layer, because that's gonna help us for the colors also. So again, that's on layer 0, everything. I'm gonna create, if you click over here, AutoCAD is giving us some layers already from our template that we picked. This is called doors, windows, and so on, but it's because we picked the architecture template. But let's create some of these layers, and let me introduce you the layer palette. So the layer palette, you can open it using the shortcut LA and pressing enter. So this is the layer palette. Let's create 1, 2, let me see. We have red, blue, so that's 2, 3. Let's create three layers for this drawing. Again, this is very basic. I don't want to confuse you or anything. So that's why we're trying to keep this simple. So in order to lock this layer palette, you see that right now is hiding automatically. So let's lock that over here by clicking the auto hide. And let me expand it. So let's create a new layer by clicking on this icon that says new layer. Once you do that, let's rename it. So again, to keep things simple and kind of help you understand the layer concept, I'm gonna name it according to the objects. In this case, I want a layer called red. I could also maybe call it stripes or red. I'm not sure, but I'll type it red for now. So red. And then under the color option, I'm gonna select this icon over here and click. So again, that's color, and go down and click. So let's change it to red, and let's go to true color. So true color, we're gonna need this option in order to PDF it or to create our PDF with the true color red. So let's click now, okay? And then let's create 2 more layers using the same procedure. Blue, press enter, color, go down, click, change to blue, and then go true color, and then click OK. All right. So of course there are more options here as line types and line weights and so on. So again, for this specific drawing, we don't need to worry. We don't need them. These options we don't need. So that's why we're gonna try to keep this simple. And then finally, we're gonna create 1 more layer for the lines. In this case, to keep simple, let's call it line work. And for the color, let's click over here. And for the color, let's keep it white, right? White, and let's click OK. All right, so we created 3 colors: red, three layers, red, blue, and line work. So let's close this layer palette by clicking this X, like so. So now let's assign, we created three layers, right, over here, but we need to assign them to our objects. So let's practice some of the selection techniques that we previously used. So let's select first our stripes, stripe hatch, like so. And let's change it to red. So let's go home, click. Let's expand this and go down and pick red. So once we click and select that, you can see that now our hatch for the stripe, if we select it, is on the layer red. This means when we create our PDF, it's gonna show in red. So let's do the same for the blue. Let's select our hatch, go home, expand this and pick blue, like so. Okay, so finally we need to select our line work and assign it to the correct layer, because right now it's on layer 0. You never want to leave your objects on layer 0. So in order to do that, I'm gonna select everything like so, and then show you a quick trick to deselect objects. To deselect objects, hold Shift on your keyboard. Once you hold Shift, you can select, and you can see the minus sign. So let's select the hatch, and it's being deselected. Let's select this other blue hatch, and let's deselect it. So again, we are ready to place them on the correct layer, in this case line work. Where is line work? It's right here. All right, so everything is ready now to show you how to export your drawing as a PDF. So let's go over here. At this point, we can add a couple of dimensions here. So let me introduce you to the dimension command. So the dimension command is right here on the ribbon on home, but I'm gonna show you a shortcut. So this creates multiple types of dimensions. So the shortcut is DIM, add a dimension. So let's press enter. Again, we don't know anything about dimensions. Help us, please. Select objects or specify first extension line. Okay, so I want to dimension the length of my flag. So I'm gonna move to this side like so. You can see that a tiny dimension is showing right here. It says 5 feet, right? 60 inches, that's correct. So let's click that and then let's move it. It says specify the location for our dimension. So let's click up like so, and then we can press escape. So at this point, the dimension is coming too small. So let's fix that. But before we fix the dimension size, we need to go to paper space. Why? Because we need to set up our paper size, and that way we will know what size this dimension needs to be. So let's go to paper space by right clicking on it. And over here, what I want to introduce you is the viewport command, because that's what we're gonna need to set the size. So the viewport is right here. That's a viewport, and it's a way to see through objects from model space. So I'm gonna erase this because I want to show you how to create this. So let's delete it using the delete key. And to create a viewport, let's use the shortcut MVV for viewport. So let's press enter. And again, we don't know anything about viewport. It says specify corner of viewport. So I'm gonna click over here, and then it says specify opposite corner. So I'm gonna click over here like so. As you can see, I have my flag automatically showing on my viewport. So that's the viewport right here. So again, first what we need to do is change the scale of our viewport to a scale that is used commonly. You can do that by selecting your viewport and going here and picking this and choosing a scale that is more appropriate for this size of paper, right? We explained that this paper is 24 by 36 inches before. So let's pick a scale of, let's try 3/16. That's too small. So let's go back again, select our viewport and change to a scale maybe of half. No, that needs a little bit bigger. 1 inch. Let's try 3 inches. Yep. So 3 inches. Again, this is about how you want this drawing to fit in your sheet. It depends on your needs. For me, 3 inches, it looks correct. So that's 3 inches equals a foot scale. So again, once I have the correct scale for my viewport, I can simply press escape. So at this point, we know the scale of our viewport, and let's resize our dimension, right? So let's go back to model space. Just remember that we are using 3 inches equals a foot for our viewport scale. That's important. So let's go back here on model and let's resize this. And for that, we're gonna need a chart. So let me go over here and let me find my chart. Of course, all of these files, I'm providing it from, and you can access them from the video description, right? There are 3 files, and one of these is this chart over here. That is gonna help us quickly. This is used not only for beginners, but for advanced users to somehow follow standard text sizes or dimensions also, or annotations in general. And I explained this chart many times before in this channel, but I'm gonna do it quickly again because you are learning AutoCAD and I want you to understand the sizes of your annotation, in this case a dimension, right? So we said that we are using 3 inches equals a foot, which is right here. So that's 3 inches equals a foot. That's the scale that we're using, right, for our viewport. So that means our factor is gonna be 4. So just remember that factor, number 4. So let me go over here now to fix the dimensions. So to fix the size of our dimension, we're gonna introduce you a new concept, which is the concept of the system variables. So AutoCAD is not only about commands or tools, but there is also system variables that is a way to change the settings of commands. So this system variable that we're gonna need is called dim scale. And this is going to help us scale the dimensions automatically based on our viewport scale. In this case, we said it was 3 inches, right? And it was a factor of 4 based on our chart. So let's pick that and let's type 4 for our dim scale. So once we do that, we can see that nothing really happens. Our dimension is still tiny. Well, it's because we need to do another dimension to see the changes. So again, I'm going to use the dim shortcut to start a dimension and press enter and specify first extension line. So, or I'm going to select this object right here, like so, click, and then move it like so. So as you can see, I'm going to press escape. Now our dimension is showing on the correct size and not tiny like this one. So if we go to paper space, you can see that our dimension is showing in the correct size now, not so tiny. So that's a way to have always your dimensions and text and to the correct size. So again, following this chart over here and finding your scale or your viewport scale, and then using the factors and also the text sizes. For the text, let's give you an example. So, but before that, let's fix this dimension, of course, introducing you a new command called match properties. It's called MA. So for match properties, let's press enter. And what this command does is simply match the sizes or properties from one object to another. It says select source object. I'm gonna click this. Select destination objects. I'm gonna click this and press enter. As you can see, our dimension is bigger now, and this is what we want. So for text, I'm gonna use another command called, the shortcut is T for text, and let's press enter. So over here, we're gonna specify the first corner. So I'm gonna click here and then specify opposite corner. I'm gonna click here. So I'm gonna say something like American flag, right? Or maybe something like happy 4th of July. You know, it's all up to you, but this is just an example. So American flag. So that's our text, and again, our text is so tiny now. Let's fix that using our chart that we have over here. So again, that's our viewport scale, or drawing scale is also known, 3 inches. That's what we're using. So for our titles, if we go and move over here, for our titles, we're gonna need 1 inch right here, right at this scale. So let's quickly do that. Let's change, or let me show you how to change our text to the correct size. We said 1 inch. So let's open the property palette. This is a new concept for you to learn that I'm glad we are explaining. So let's open the property palette using the PR for properties. And then let's of course click over here to lock that. And then let's select our text, go over here under text options and text height. Let's change that to 1 inch, like so, and press enter. So to expand our text, I'm gonna move it like so, and then close my property window. So American flag, happy 4th of July. That's the correct size for our titles now. You can see it has the correct size. So at this point, we are ready Well, I'm gonna draw a line really quick, just to show the scale of my. I can copy this text using the CO, right? That we previously used it, and we can say here we can edit the text by double clicking on it and simply select everything using the Control A, and then say something like scale, and then we say 3 inches equals 1 foot. This is important so the person that received this drawing knows that that this drawing was made using this scale, right? So they can measure it and they won't have a problem. All right. So at this point, we are ready to create or export our PDF. So let's, we don't need this reference drawing anymore. So let's unpin it and close this window. We don't want to save this, so let's close that out. So over here in paper space, what we need to export our drawing or create a PDF is using the shortcut Control P on your keyboard. And then once we do that, we'll have this plot dialog box. Over here, what we need to do is go under AutoCAD PDF. That's good. Make sure that's selected. You can, of course, expand it using this or clicking over here. And then for the size of our paper, that's correct too, 24 by 36. But again, if you need a different size, you can expand it. For what to plot, extend, that's make sure extends is selected. That's important. Center the plot always. Over here, scale 1:1. That means we are creating this PDF to the correct scale. So make sure always 1:1 is selected. Scale line weights, make sure that's checked also. And then over here under plot styles, so let's pick, we only have these 3 options. So monocolor, so let's try this Autodesk color because we don't have the other option for some reason. So let's do a preview first before doing anything. So you can click preview. And as you can see, you have your one of your first drawings, in this case, the American flag at a scale of 3 inches equals a foot. So if this looks right like this, you can press escape and then simply click OK to save your PDF in this case. And of course you can rename this file as you wish and then save it. And then you will have your one of your first drawings over here from AutoCAD, like so, in PDF. Of course, you can see the line work and everything. And so thanks to you, and thanks to these friends also who support my work. And you can keep learning AutoCAD. Just click the video on your screen and see you on this next lesson.